Hi. I hope you and your family, the land around you, that you are doing well, that you're healthy, you're all healthy, and whatever you need finds you. All right. Thanks for joining me today. Thanks for watching. I am very excited to share this with you. Okay. So, today we're going to talk a little bit about some more about the body and something that I did this morning, and I'm kind of amazed at it, and some other things to share with you. So, is this look? No. All right. So I'll start with this part, which is the body, and reminding us that we're more. This is okay. Reminding us that we're more, and some other things. So I'm looking around for books. I'll pause the video and grab them when I get there. We know that that our ancestors built pyramids, watched the stars, and figured out all kinds of ways of healing. When I was a kid, I used to think, I don't think God would put us on the planet, give us all these things that are, excuse me, harmful and not good for us, or, diseases, basically, illness, without a tool for healing. And or a plant or something for healing. So if you haven't watched it, please check out the movie Earthing. It's free on YouTube. Wow. And it is believable. It's amazing. It makes sense to me. It makes sense to me about the planet. It makes sense to me about how the earth can heal you. It makes sense. I mean, it just makes sense. And that's what that movie's about. It talks about the healing of basically connecting to the earth with your bare feet or your bare hands or your bare body. Okay. So there's that. So we have all these points in our bodies. We have our hands, and if we and I realize that some people may not have these things. And yet they are in a body, and the very importance of touch. And so if we think about the body, the blood, all the little microorganisms, how everything functions, how we don't actually have to think about our heart pumping, our lungs working. Most of us don't. And the miracle of, yes, life, breath each day. Now, when it comes to what I consider what's happening in the world right now, I'll take some water real quick. What's been happening in the world for a long time, and this is like the dark ages of the new world, kind of. Not the new world, but the new paradigm. And I think, so what I've learned is that there's been this pain and then reaction pattern for, we know, so long. And that what I've noticed for my own self, and what I think I've noticed in the world, is we get distracted by that. I certainly can. We get distracted by that, and then I wasn't focused. We become distracted. And so to rein that back in was to begin again. Begin meditating again. Begin practicing just simple ritualistic things that would benefit my body and my mind and help recenter, I guess is a good way to describe it. And all along the way are things that happen within my body and with my muscles, and learning that muscles hold memory. And if you haven't checked it out, or if you don't know, there's a multitude of healing techniques. I think I've shared this in other videos, maybe not. Tapping, massage, stretching, yoga, walking, meditation, now earthing, which, spending time in nature. People say spending time in nature. I'm guessing to add to that is to take your shoes off, put your hands on the ground as well. And they show how grounding that is. And then there's the other aspect of like what we're putting in our bodies, what we're putting in our minds. And my biggest struggle is I'm super emotional, and I had, and it's still, work with expressing myself in the situations where I felt I wasn't allowed to. And I'm learning that in the body and then outwardly in the world, we see, okay, so within the field of practice of massage, I see a lot of, the reason why people come in is typically because they're having some kind of soreness. It can range from basic relaxation to de-stress, or to relieve aches and pains, and help circulation, Okay, so, and then the compensation that I've noticed within the body. Okay, so in some of the stretching or in the meditation I did the other day, I invited you to bring your hands to certain spots. This morning, okay, so massaging the body, and I think I'm onto something here. So I want to share it with you guys because I'm kind of floored by it, and I think it's a way to maybe accelerate the emotional healing process, because I will, in this process, so when I was young, when I was between 1 and 3 months old, I was burned on half of my body. And through my life, I just thought that I had dealt with it. What I didn't see is that's where some of my paranoia comes from, and some of the and then what happened, like emotional and physical things that happened after that affected me emotionally. Yet what's showing up is that I shoved it in. So where does it go, right? And we've learned from studies and our own research, and I'm going to tell you right now too, that when we hold stress in our bodies, everything shows. The cause of everything, the cause of all dis-ease is stress. Either it's repeated stress, a one-time giant stress, right? So I was taking a bath, and I'd been sore over here, and I had a little intimidation because I was like, I hope it's not, something bad. So I start massaging it, and I become emotional, and I'm feeling it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's something I haven't really, it brought me back to that memory, even though I don't really remember. So, and then there's so much more to that too. There's mental health awareness, there's meditation, there's being aware of the influences of the energies of the world, media, even technology, even social media, right? Okay. And knowing this, but seeing things from a different perspective that I hadn't seen before, stuff I needed to see in order, I think, to heal more. So And it was through pain, right? Through literal revisiting triggers, emotional pain, revisiting that stuff. And I think it's possible that we can either help speed up that process and or alleviate the pain, experience the pain in a different way. So if you had a massage, or you've done some really awesome stretching and you feel the spot in your body that's kind of sore, and that's what we'll say. We'll say it's sore, and at the same time, we're stretching or you're getting a massage. So there's this relief that comes with this it's been called sweet pain. And I believe we call it that because even though it hurts, you know there's going to be relief at the end. Okay, so I mentioned all that because our body also can represent emotions. And I'm going to repeat the things that I've learned where that's connected, and then go into the next part of what I discovered this morning and share that with you as well. So in general, if you look at the body and how we move and how our directions are, you know, back and front and right, side, right? And the compensation and the reflection on either side. All right. So I'll start with the hands because that's what I worked on today. And I was like, I feel so much better. I'm so excited to share this with you. Okay. So your hands, what do you do with your hands? You grab things, you hold things with them. So, our arms from our hands up can refer to holding on to something. So either holding on to something too much, not grabbing something, or letting go of something, or needing to let go of something, or maybe have let go of something too quickly. Okay. Emotionally, literally emotionally. So when it comes to, say, carpal tunnel, okay, it is possible that not just the action of typing is happening, but also what subconscious thoughts might be being held onto and then being brought up as this is your job, so to speak, or this is what you're doing that is causing this reflection to happen. And then the further up we go, and so we can also reflect with what's outside and what's inside. Okay, right? And then when it comes to our back and our spine and our head, okay, so a headache can be that we're too in our head, or that we're holding tension in our head. And as I mentioned before, a lot of times I will see referrals of headaches and then also tightness in the jaw, otherwise known as TMJ, but the muscle is also called that, which is a little confusing. But this area right here, and it goes back to your head. So holding tension in the head, even the eyebrows. And you'll see people kind of when they're stressed out, they do this. That's like a natural way of massaging your spots on your head, right? It's awesome. Or people go like this. I do. That's a natural form of us massaging ourselves. So there's that too. We already innately touch ourselves to help bring relief, you know, in small ways. Sometimes we'll go like this, and then like when you're upset, you go like this, you know. That's we're literally bringing healing to ourselves in those moments, even if that's not what we're consciously thinking. Okay, subconsciously it just goes there. Okay, and then the spine. So your spine to your hips is support. So if your neck is bothering you, and the saying is pain in the neck, so it could be literally like maybe you're carrying literally too much weight on your shoulders. Women tend to wear purses, and students can wear backpacks, or people who are traveling wear backpacks, and or the mental or emotional idea of carrying too much on the back. A lot of stress, okay? And then, like I said before, you can come in. And that's part of what I'm going to share with you today, these muscles. And then in the middle, so you have the shoulders, which is like the weight we put on ourselves, the neck, and then the shoulders, the weight we put on ourselves. And then in the mid back is related to, say, support. And it could be support with your job, support with your home life, and or support with where your kind of energy is, because this is where our solar plexus is, so it would be directly behind that. And so if you're feeling like low energy or not supported in maybe something that you're trying that's new, or something that makes you feel good, and you might have to pull away from other people or step into something that's a little uncomfortable, you might feel a little reference of pain in that area, okay? And then you move to your hips, and your hips are where our family, our DNA comes from. And so there might be a feeling of no support where family is concerned, or like maybe you feel like you don't belong somewhere, or you don't feel connected. And then as you move down your legs have to do with walking or moving forward. So if you have pain behind your legs, it could be that you're holding on to, you're afraid to move forward, or you might be moving forward too quickly. And if you have pain in the front, especially with your knee is the first thing to come forward as you're walking. And if you're having pain in your knee, typically that means you're holding on to something that is keeping you from moving forward. And then if it goes all the way down to your ankles, it would be almost like you feel like your ankles are in, say, something like quicksand or something like that, all the way to our toes, which each side, left and right, can relate to like spiritual or career path. So that's just a little reference as to what might show up in the body pain-wise. So if we can bring in self-healing tools that are either painless or minimal pain, or if the pain is felt, you let yourself release that and let whatever memory is being held in that muscle out, I think we can get to the place of working through our shadow side, so to speak, just maybe help that process in a way that the memory doesn't have to necessarily come to the mind, where in therapy we'll work through certain memories to the place to where you can express yourself. And I agree with that. And then also there are things within us. So vibrationally, if we want to create outside of us what is reflected within us, and we are practicing meditation, stretching, and we're not exercising our emotional side, only exercising our physical side and our mental side. Meditation, I do believe, helps to bring up the emotional, and sometimes in that is not always exactly remembering, which is okay. That energy would still be in there, still being reflected outwardly in some way, so that we can release that, what is not seen, basically, so that we can heal it. So this way possibly is a an added plus. Okay, so I'm going to pause real quick because there's, I think, two books I want to grab, at least one book I want to grab to share with you, and then share with you the massage stuff. All right. Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's so many things out there. We have Reiki. We have, what I'm going to share with you is Jin Shin Jyutsu. Oh, okay, hold on, wait. Okay, I have everything. So many things. The tapping, earthing, cleaning out the inside of the body. There's just so many things. So, one of my friends a long time ago when I was still in college gave me the book, The Touch of Healing, about Jin Shin Jyutsu. Okay. In this book, and you can look it up, you can go to YouTube, you can look up online, there's tons of information. And this is basically a very simple way of bringing deep healing with just the fingers and the hands, using the hands, using different hand positions. So we're I'll share one of the positions with you right now. One of the positions is just holding your thumb. It's called a jumper cable. And you hold your thumb. And this connects to... it's called also the first depth, which, you know, if you look this up online, you'll get all the information. There's tons of information. It's pretty awesome. And I also brought the Reiki book because I feel like, you know, they both deal with the hands and massage. Okay. So, this first step, sustenance, and the function is skin surface. The organ is the spleen in the stomach. It helps with the attitude of worry. The element is earth. The planet is Saturn. The astrological sign is Cancer and Gemini. The season is the hottest time of the summer, which most of us are in right now. Day of the week, Saturday. Day is Monday. Color, yellow. Greatest stress, sitting. Musical tone, G. Interesting. Taste, sweet. Odor, fragrant. Safety, energy locks, 1 through 4. So that's another thing. But this is to bring balance to that, the first depth, and it's called a jumper cable. And you just hold that. And in this book also are testimonials of people who have done this, and you can do it through several breaths. And in this book also, there's also other books. I like this book because it has pictures and goes into some deep detail. This is where also she does speak about points in the bodies that are energetic points, and she says there's 14,400 of them in the body. And I think that might be where we get the 144,000, you know, comparatively. And if you know about meridians, my theory is that there is some, you know, reflection there, where I'm not sure she mentions the meridians, yet a lot of these points do relate to meridians. So I'm going to move into the massage part. I'm going to show this book, Reiki for Life. There's some great Reiki information in here. I believe she has a second edition. And because of the energy that's in our hands alone, and what we can do with our hands, and how our hands can help others, and you can practice the Jin Shin Jyutsu with others and see how they respond. Okay, so with massage, I'm going to suggest a couple things that you can do for self-massage. And it's just, I'm really surprised this morning. And I brought in a little Pilates. Pilates is another great body work practice, because the person who invented it did it to create his own healing. That's usually how it goes. And it's it can work also. It can help things heal faster. Pretty amazing. And so one of the things I learned in Pilates is to take a ball like this, and you can actually, you know, get balls online. You can buy these balls. That's so funny to say that over and over. And you can also, you can use a rock, like a soft rock, like a rounded rock, you know, something like this, so to speak. Even warmed up, you can put the rock in a little hard water. You can use one of like a rice pack and put it in wherever you're sore. So this works pretty well. It's one of those S curve. This is a gift when I stopped doing massages for a while, and it's pretty amazing. And sometimes you can use it like across your body at the same time. So you're massaging the front of your body and the back of your body at the same time. Okay, so, and then also I wanted to show you guys the cups. So these are silicone cups. I got these. They don't sell this particular package anymore, but I did just get some for massage, and it had a total of I think 8 cups in them. The smaller sizes, this size, this size, and this size. But in this pack, I also got the big one, which is pretty awesome because you can use this like on your legs, all across the base of your back. And then this little tiny one you can use on your face. So I already have some oil on my face. You can put them in just one spot and let them kind of like work on that tight spot and just leave it there. Okay, you can put them in a line on a tight spot. This is one of my tight spots, that's why I'm choosing it. Feels really good. Okay, and you don't need oil necessarily to do that, but if you want to do the massage part, you want to have some oil. I've made some of my own oils. There is this stuff called Orglow, which you can get, which is pretty awesome. And you can read about a little bit about Edgar Casey, who kind of came up with these things, is the story. Okay. Anyways, and this is olive oil, coconut oil, and some, I think, canola oil, which are all good for the skin, unless you're allergic, of course. And then I put a little essential oils in there. So I was massaging this morning, and the inner of my arm, and I'll share that part with you guys too. So you put the cup on. You want to go. You want to just pay attention to how deep you go, because you want to also. I mean, I move mine around. Okay, like this, and you can kind of lift it up and see how it's like lifting up my skin. So what it does is it pulls the muscle from the bone up, and you can see already it's pretty red. So it brings like blood up to the surface. Okay, it's really nice to do in the bath, because then whatever muscle you've been working on, or wherever you want to let it sit, can relax in that nice warm water. So this morning, with learning with the Pilates, I take this ball and I put it back behind here. And then I lift my arm straight up and straight down. So you can do that. It is rough. It is painful. It can be painful, especially if you have tightness and soreness back there. And so what I did is I followed the muscles that were tight and sore. And in certain spots, I could feel where I needed to work on my arms. So when I got to my left arm, and my left arm's been bothering me, and when I do massage, I use my arms a lot, whereas I need to use my legs more. So I've been using my legs more, yet I'm still having, I was having some, you know, like, just in my arm. And so in massaging that, so I'm laying on one of these on the ground, and my arm is in a, like a, you know, like a, what's it called? Field goal, right? Field goal post. And a Y shape. That's not even a Y shape. Anyways, L shape out. Okay. And was massaging all the muscles along here, right? Where my arm is up. And along my collarbone, up here, all behind the back of my head, because all these muscles are connected. This is what we don't know about our bodies. Or may not always be conscious of. Everything's connected. So one thing feels a little off, then something else is a little off. So massaging all this. And also on my right side, move my boob out of the way. Right down through what are called the rhomboids. So you have these muscles that kind of connect back and forth through here. And then one connects right here as well as right up here. And so when I went to this area, it's really tender. And I did some real deep breathing, and a little bit of memory came back in this area. And then when I came over to this one, and it's still a little red. Interesting. Yeah. Huh. It was about maybe 40 minutes ago. So massaging all the inside here, even back here, actually pushing on that where it's connected. And we have a little tiny muscle. I'm always like, it's always those little muscles. They get you. Or I shouldn't say little tiny muscle, but a very thin muscle that connects kind of right here on this bone and comes up and comes up underneath and connects just under the arm, right? Because there's other muscles that go like this. So I'm working that muscle, and as I was saying before about the emotional part, what came up was basically the emotion of releasing the fear of not releasing emotions. And with this one over here, it was still about a little bit about the burn and you know, nurturing that. And I don't really like sharing this kind of stuff, but I think it's important, and I think it may not be for everybody. I think most of us hold a lot of emotion in our bodies, and we do all these things, like we work out and we go running, and even when we're doing yoga and all this stuff, we know that there's some strengthening happening, and we know that there's breath work happening, and toxins are being released from the body, and all these magical things are happening as we're practicing these practices. If we still have any emotional pain within us, it's stored in a muscle somewhere. It's stored in one of the muscles somewhere. And you know, we usually claim to the heartache, which is a muscle, right? And working through our heartache. So I think we can touch our hearts, you know, and this is connected to the heart. So the heart space of allowing basically like the freedom to express what is in the heart. And that this part of my shoulder had some numbness in it, so it's still in that same position. So I cried for a while. It was a little longer. And then I stopped crying, because that flash kind of came into my head of like the memory that happened why it is still even trapped in there, and releasing it in that way, like crying about it. And then here I could feel a little numbness, and I worked on this and worked on that muscle that I just did the cupping on, but my arm was backwards, so this muscle, I'll turn sideways so you can see. So you can see how the muscle kind of shows up, and it was easier to grab. Oh, see it. And worked that muscle and all through here, and I cannot believe it. Like, I cannot believe it. How much better it feels. It feels so much better. Even my range of motion has changed. And even saying that, range of motion. I think I'm onto something here. I think there's something connected with the emotions and the muscles. And if we take the time to massage those muscles, let whatever emotion shows up, show up. Because over here, the emotion showed up and the memory showed up, but I didn't feel like crying. But I did do some like breathing and kind of like self-nurturing massage on this side. It was all self-nurturing, yet a little bit painful. That's the part I need to get back to. A little bit painful. Like in some spots, really painful. And it's like crying about the pain while you're releasing it from one of the areas it might be stored, and possibly the area it's stored in. And my notion is the left arm, the left side, I heard it has to do with spirit. I think it also has to do with heart. And I think spirit and heart may be connected in that if you feel sad, you know, your spirit is sad. If you're feeling good, your spirit is high. And then I think the right side, if you might be experiencing any of those things on the right side of your body, and also that's one of the things that's in Jin Shin Jyutsu is how to like energize each side of your body. I'll share one of those with you and bring a little sound bowl because it helps balance the energizer. Okay. Anyhow, the right side to do with our, I think working through anger, because our liver is on this side. Actually, our liver is huge. Our livers are huge. I don't know if you all know this, but our livers are huge. They are huge. Huge. Yeah, they're like, I can't even fit in the screen. They're like this big. So turn that sideways, right? And it's in the front and the back of your body, back here, your liver on your right side. And the liver is supposed to relate to like holding on to anger and that type of thing. So check out Jin Shin Jyutsu if you're interested in just bringing in some, you know, pain-free hand mudras, simple mudras into the healing. So the one I'm going to share with you, I have some sound, and I'll share with you what the sounds those are. At least I said I was bringing on some sound. That was Tim Shaw bells. I don't know how to spell it very well, so I usually just say bells in my video. Tim Shaw bells, I'll look it up. Okay, so these are in E, and E relates to the solar plexus. Okay. This singing bowl is an A tone, and I believe A relates to the root chakra. Okay. And then I have the harmonica, which has all of the tones for all of the chakras. And interestingly enough, I have a cat that pretty much, he doesn't like the drum. He doesn't like the singing bowls too much. He loves the harmonica. He loves the harmonica. So I think there's something to that, because I think cats are particular. And the dog likes all of them. He likes sound in general. He usually howls along. Okay. So I'll tell you the mudra and the process, and you can do it with me or not or whenever. And then I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to do a little sound and then end the video. Thanks for watching and all that fun stuff. May you and your family, your animals, the land around you, your plants, your food, your water, you be favored, be as well as can be, and be safe. All right. Okay. So you would take your right hand and place either your fingertips or your palm, this part of your head. Then you're going to leave your right hand there until the end. And you're going to take your left fingers and place them right here. And you leave them there for a little while. And you breathe into your back. Breathe into your front. Okay. And then bring your fingers to the tip of your nose. And to your sternum. Anywhere in your chest is okay, like your sternum area. Then just under your ribs. Then down to your pubic bone. And then you're going to remove your right hand and bring your right hand to your coccyx bone. And that brings balance to your energy in their solar plexus area. Okay. So again, thanks for listening and watching. May you be well and favored. Till next time.